Find him! Save Martha!
When BVS premiered in 2016, many thought that it would be an instant box office success. The hype that had been around that movie prior to its release was enough to send a rocket to space and back. It's going to easily make $1 billion, people said. So when it didn't, everyone was just as surprised as they were disappointed. Warner Brothers executives were squinting in their seats. This was like Green Lantern all over again. It also did not help that Marvel was releasing Captain America Civil War the same year, which was wildly successful. Batman and Superman were literally two of the biggest names in comics. And here they were, losing their masters all the money. DC quickly had to reconsider its plans for its extended universe. They held meetings to put in strategies that would allow them to quickly tap into the market share that Marvel was currently dominating, which eventually led to the reboot that we are currently witnessing. But was Batman vs Superman really that bad? If not, why did it fail so despicably? I know it's not that Martha scene. Let's break it down. Batman v Superman is one of the most misunderstood films of all time. It has often been criticized for its dark, slow, and complicated nature, but that's exactly what makes it brilliant. This isn't just a movie about two heroes fighting. It's a mythic deconstruction of what it means to be a hero, a battle of ideologies, and one of the most ambitious comic book films ever made. Superhero movies are usually black and white, good versus evil, the good guys fighting the bad guys. But BVS, it's a story about perspective. The movie starts with a young Bruce witnessing the murder of his parents, and as he wanders away during their burial, he falls into a pit where he has a small but significant interaction with bats. It then jumps to the Battle of Metropolis, also known as Black Zero event, and we get to see Bruce's point of view and the foundation for his hate towards Superman. Remember, this event caused the death of over 10 million people, and Bruce literally watched some of them die as he could do nothing to save them. He not only hates Superman, he's also afraid of what he could do to the planet or humanity if he so willed it. To Bruce, Superman is not a hero, he's an existential threat.
He has the power to wipe out the entire human race, and if we believe there's even a 1% chance that he is our enemy, we have to take it as an absolute certainty. And we have to destroy him.
But he is not our enemy.
Not today. 20 years in Gotham, Alfred. We've seen what promises are worth. How many good guys are left? How many stayed that way?
But we know Clark. We know Superman is not that kind of person. Clark is trying to do the right thing, but the world is questioning him. Should one man have that much power? He is torn between being a hero and wondering if humanity even wants him.
What are we talking about here then? Must there be a Superman?
There is.
At the same time, reports of the Batman branding criminals and acting as the hammer of justice reaches Clark Kent's desk. Clark starts looking into it, and now he's against what Batman does. As a force of good, Superman cannot allow Batman to continue acting as judge, jury, and executioner. The difference here is Superman is looking for a way to stop Batman, while Batman is looking for a way to kill Superman. Their fight isn't just physical, it's a clash of ideologies. It also doesn't help that behind the scenes, Lex Luthor is intentionally trying to fuel this growing hate between the two heroes. He's doing his best to destroy Superman's image in the eyes of the government, in the eyes of the people, and most importantly, in the eyes of Batman. The bombing of the Senate building is one of the final blows to Superman's image. Lex deliberately wants Batman to steal the kryptonite so he can use it to kill Superman. Kidnapping Martha Kent is Luthor's way of making Superman fight Batman. And if that fails, he has an even bigger backup plan. Doomsday. Luthor's goal is to prove that power corrupts. He doesn't fear Superman. He hates him because he represents something Lex can't control.
I figured out way back. If God is all powerful, he cannot be all good. And if he is all good, then he cannot be all powerful. And neither can you be. They need to see the fraud you are.
Let's talk about this scene. A lot of people laughed at the Martha moment, thinking Batman stopped because their moms had the same name. But that completely misses the point.
Why did you say that name?
It's his mother's name! It's his mother's name.
Bruce sees Superman as an alien, a god, a threat. But the moment Clark says, "Save Martha," Batman sees his humanity. Superman isn't just a god. He's a son, a man, someone who loves just like Bruce did. In that moment, Bruce realizes he has become the very thing he swore to fight. A murderer, driven by rage instead of justice. It's not about the name. It's about Batman waking up. Zack Snyder doesn't just tell a story. He paints it with symbolism. Superman is framed like a god, loved by some, feared by others. Batman emerges from fire, symbolizing his descent into darkness. Lex Luthor looks up at Superman like Lucifer rebelling against God. Even the nightmare sequence foreshadows what happens when fear wins. Every scene, every shot, every piece of dialogue has meaning. It's not just a movie. It's a puzzle waiting to be solved. The film isn't spoon-feeding the audience. It respects them enough to let them analyze its deeper meaning. The action isn't just a spectacle. It's driven by character. Batman's brutal fight scenes show how far he's fallen. Superman's death isn't just shock value. It's the final proof of who he truly is. He doesn't die as a god. He dies as a man sacrificing himself for the world that doubted him. It's the moment Batman fully redeems himself. He goes from trying to kill Superman to believing in him. And in the end, the dirt rising on Clark's coffin teases the hope that will come. So why did it fail? Did it even fail in the first place? Well, it failed to meet expectations for sure. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice had a strong but controversial performance at the box office. Opening weekend, $166 million, domestic US, at the time the biggest match opening ever. Worldwide total, $873.6 million. Budget, estimated between $250 to $300 million before marketing. While $873 million is a huge number, it underperformed compared to expectations. Warner Brothers was hoping for at least $1 billion, especially since this was the first live-action movie featuring Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman together. Why didn't it hit $1 billion? Mixed reviews and negative word of mouth. Critics slammed it for being too dark and too serious, leading to 29% Rotten Tomatoes scores, though audience scores were much higher. Massive second week drop. It fell 69% in its second weekend, one of the biggest drops for a blockbuster. Studio interference. The theatrical cut was chopped down to 2.5 hours, removing key scenes that made the story clearer. The Ultimate Edition 3-hour version fixed many of these issues, but by then, the damage was done. Competition and market shift. Marvel's lighter tone was dominating at the time, and audiences were used to more quippy, family-friendly superhero films. No wonder Captain America: Civil War was successful. The movie was ahead of its time. Batman v Superman wasn't made to be an easy, fun, popcorn movie. It was made to challenge how we see heroes. It's not a fun superhero movie, it's a powerful one. It treats these characters as mythic figures, exploring their flaws, fears, and growth. It sets up the entire cinematic universe with deep, philosophical questions about power and responsibility. It leaves you thinking, How will we react if Superman existed? Will we trust him or fear him? BVS isn't just about Batman fighting Superman. It's about ideology, fear, redemption, and what it means to be a hero in a world that doesn't believe in them. And that's why it was too smart for some audiences at the time. But as time passes, more and more people are realizing this movie was a masterpiece. If you still don't like it, that's fine. But hopefully, you at least understand why so many of us love it. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and let me know in the comments, did this change your perspective on BVS?
She with you?
I thought she was with you.